All right, hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkes, and this is your best life defined. So this is like we're rolling, we're getting back into this thing. I'm starting to find my groove with this, and I was thinking the other day, I said maybe. I mean, I know what I'm doing, okay? I wake up every day, and granted, my life isn't perfect. I live in a fifth wheel, and I have things that I have to do on this fifth wheel. But aside from that, I have all kinds of choices in my life. I have all kinds of things that I can do, right? And I wake up and I'm thinking to myself, maybe it's just, maybe some people just don't have what it takes to actually stop everything they're doing and to sit down and take an evaluation of their life, not based on what other people are doing, but based on what they love to do. This was the thought I had. I'm thinking, well, no, I could be wrong. You know, my biggest one of my biggest fears is that I'm going to be one of those guys who end up dying, and then years go by, and then somebody discovers my work. These videos are like, oh man, this guy was a genius. Oh yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine waking up every day and focusing on the things you love? Oh yeah, crazy concept, crazy ideas. He was a man ahead of his time. Yeah, those are the kind of ideas I get in my head. And I think maybe it's come down to this. Maybe the world doesn't have what it takes to do what I'm talking about doing. Maybe it is just so abstract. But even if it is, I'm not giving up. I'm thinking there's got to be one or two of you out there who are actually saying, yeah, we can do. I see what he's saying, you know. I'm going to simplify this for you because I think you have what it takes. I really do. I don't think no matter where you are in your life or no matter how bad things are right now, and I'm laughing because it's funny to me because it's so clear, and I think, well, man, maybe it's just that far out. But let's test this out. Let me just go ahead and throw this out to you. So, here's this in its simplest form. You wake up every day and you're going to do shit you have to do, just like I do. And then there's a point when the shit you have to do stops. In other words, you go to work, you earn your money, and then you have your free time. Now, as it is right now, your free time is encompassed. It's full of things. It's full of soccer appointments and housework and obligations of some sort or the other. When you think about that life and where you're at, the question that I continue to throw your direction is simple. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you waking up every day to that series of actions, one after the other, for the entire day, and then you close your eyes and you wake up and you do it again? Are you with me so far? Are you with me here? I'm trying to bring you along slowly because obviously this is confusing, and I don't want to think you don't have what it takes to actually start living your best life. So you're with me. So you do this day in and day out. Now, why did you choose those activities? Now, this is where it gets confusing. See, for me, the why that I choose to do this podcast, the why I choose to live in my fifth wheel is because it gives me access to the things I love. See, you probably can't tell because my previous podcasts have been so droll and so dry and so restrained that it hasn't actually come true about my passion for helping people. And I can't think of a better way. I'm loading it up. I'm loading it up. There's no one stopping me, no one getting in the way of the noise I'm making. And eventually someone's going to say, yeah, yeah, I get it. I see what you're saying, Chris. Yeah. All right, I'm playing more now. You chose all this stuff, the house, the car, the kids, and granted, I understand the justification. I've heard it over and over again. The reason that you chose the things you chose is because you have to live your life, right? You have to have a place to live. You have to have a way to get around. You have to have a job. But my question is, why did you consume so much of your resources for those three basic requirements? Why, when you could have actually spent half as much money, did you consume that much money every month to pay for a place to sleep, a place to launch your life, a place to wake up in the morning, hurry out the door, hurry back, get a couple hours in front of the TV, drink some wine, and repeat? If that was all you were going to use that for, why wouldn't you have made it a smaller space? And then maybe you wouldn't have had to work so much. And if you didn't have to, or maybe you could work the same amount, but this time all that money that you were paying for that bigger house went into something you actually enjoyed. Instead of that coming home at night, you actually get to play a round of golf or two every night. That'd be something. I mean, you still got everything you need, right? Even if your house is smaller, it still provides you with a place to sleep, a place to rest, a place to fix your meals, a place to get out of the weather. But you had to have the big house, right? You had to have, oh, check out my pad, bro. Got me a big ass pad, bro. And why? I mean, you got that big ass fancy truck, even though you don't haul anything, you don't pull anything. You drive around those big ass expensive tires, and you got to make those big ass expensive truck payments. You got to make that big ass insurance payment. And it's fine if that's your I mean, if you really just live in that truck, you're like, oh man, I can't wait to get out of work because I got to drive my truck. And that truck is your life, then do it. But chances are that's not the case. My question is, why didn't you get you a little truck that didn't cost nearly as much and then take that money, go do some shit that's worth doing? See, this is what I'm talking. When I say playing, you see kids drinking and hanging out and partying, but I'm saying that you might not have what it takes, because here's the other side of this. So let's say that that's your life, that you have a big house, your finances are stretched because of your choices. You might not be underwater, but it's tight, right? And I'm over here telling you, hey, live your best life. And you're like, well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? I mean, I can't, I'm working. Well, it takes balls to look at your life and actually have a conversation with your partner and say, do you want to start having some fun, baby? Hey, you wanna start like enjoying this thing we got together? Maybe go to the lake a little more, maybe have some camping time, or maybe get to go on a vacation where we're not busting our ass, sacrificing and worried about the checkbook or the credit card. Maybe you don't have what it takes to say, hey, let's sit down and let's make the pros and cons of this big ass house or the car. And if there's more cons than pros and it's keeping us from having more fun, then maybe we should just sell that vehicle, sell that truck, and we'll just get something smaller. It doesn't have to be a lot car. It doesn't have to be a beater. It can be a nice little truck, a nice little ride. It'll be cool. We can pimp it out. But for half the money, and then let's take that other money that we have freed up and let's go do some shit with it. Let's go to the Bahamas. Let's go to the Caribbean. Let's go get scuba certified. Oh, in fact, let's learn to scuba dive. Let's go surfing. Let's go to Hawaii. Let's go spend 3 months traveling around the country. That's what it takes. And maybe I'm just flapping my gums and no one can hear what I'm saying. But maybe you don't have what it takes. I guess I might need to accept that. Because I know there's some of you who are into the position you're in and are living the life you're living, not because it's this amazing adventure, but because it's comfortable and it's predictable. See, that's the scary thing about my life. I mean, I don't have any clue. In fact, right now, we haven't actually settled down on where we're going to spend the winter yet. We're still investigating. And that leaves some room for concern and for some room for some irrational fears. But in the end, it'll work out. And even with all that, guess what? I don't have any less predictability in my life than you do. Oh no, you're playing it safe. We live over here in this cul-de-sac with the cars and the kids, and I know what's going to happen tomorrow. Ooh. No, you don't. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. A friggin' meteor could fall out of the sky and obliterate you. You could wake up tomorrow with a slight cough. It's just a scratch, baby, just a scratch. And the next thing you know, you're in the ICU with a hose down your throat. You can't talk and you're dying. Not to try and throw a damper on this whole talk, but let's keep it real. See, I don't have time to be pussyfooting around about what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you wake up every day and you make these choices, and the question is, where did you get the choices, and why wouldn't you choose something better, something a little more fun? Okay, I get it. You have to work. Go to work. You laugh at the guy who has a beater truck with a raft on top, but you shouldn't be, because guess what he does from the time he wakes up in the morning until the time he goes to bed at night. He gets up, he gets his coffee, he gets his gear, he goes down the river, he goes and plays in the water. And then when he's done playing in the water, making his money, he gets his supper and he has a few beers, gets some friends, and he takes his raft and they go upriver and they drink beer and they hit the rapids and they play. And then by the time he's tired all right. He's tired because he spent the entire day submerged in the shit he loves. And you're thinking, well, yeah, but he don't have a retirement. Well, if you get COVID, you might not either. You ain't got no more predictability than he does. And the only difference is he wakes up every day going, yeah, I got to do this shit again. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to give up on you. I mean, maybe you don't have what it takes. Maybe it's just too damn scary for you to make that kind of decision. Here's an idea. How about this? How about you just start talking about it? Let's just skip all action. Let's just forget about any idea that you would be ready to actually move on it. And you're like, ooh, are we going to sell the house? Are we going to downsize the house to get a smaller place so we can afford to live our life, to have more? Well, even if you're on the fence, you're just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Just start talking about it. See, that works too. See, that's how Sandy and I have gotten through a lot of the struggles we face. And even now, we spend more time talking about our dreams, about what's going to make our life better. See, here's the struggle we have. Okay, we have 3 RV parks. We have one that's relatively cheap, but the environment isn't great. It's kind of dusty and it's out in the wind and there's not a lot of amenities and we're familiar with the area. And then we have another one. It's in Golden, Colorado, and it is a beautiful RV resort and it's amazing. There's grass and we're right outside Golden and it's rocking. And then we have a couple choices in Colorado Springs. And we don't have predictability. We don't know where we're going to end up spending our winter. We really don't. But we do know that there's something coming. And if, God forbid, something happens, it could all end right now. Just like you. Just like you. But the difference is we have what it takes to go ahead and say, let's see, what do I love? What do I hate? I think I'm going to do more of what I love and less of what I hate. Seems complicated, doesn't it? I don't think it gets any simpler than that. Why are you doing so much of what you don't enjoy? I mean, granted, oh, yeah, it's okay, it's cool, it's a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. Why aren't you doing shit that's 9s and 10s? Why aren't you pursuing stuff in your life that is a 9 or a 10, that leaves you feeling like you do when you ride a carnival ride, or when you open the windows of your condo and you're in the Bahamas and the sea is just blue and the waves are breaking and it's just amazing? Why not? Nothing's going to change. You still ain't going to be able to predict tomorrow. But if you see that shitstorm coming tomorrow and you're going, oh crap, a meteor's coming, oh no, COVID 863. At least you will have had the opportunity to have woke up one morning, to have waken up one morning and swing the doors open on a condo and look at that blue water. But again, maybe the problem isn't my message. Maybe the problem has nothing to do with what I'm saying. Maybe when it comes down to it, maybe you don't have what it takes. Maybe you just cannot stick your toe outside that box, that comfort zone of knowing that where you live and that you have your stuff and that you have this life for you. Maybe you just, I don't know. See, I'm done thinking it's me because I've spent the last 6 years looking at my life and asking myself, well, and it comes down to a simple question. It is, okay, I ask myself, I'm saying, would I rather do what inspires me and what I enjoy, or would I rather do what I have to do because of the things I own? And I said, well, I don't know. The things I own don't seem to make me feel as good as the things I'm doing. So I think I'm going to do more of the things I love to do and stop spending so much time and resources involved in the things I own. If you take the time, you got to catch the previous podcast. It's about junk food for the mind, I think is the title of it. But it talks about these ideas we get. It talks about these strategies that we come up with for how our life is supposed to look. And the question is, why in the hell are you just trying to be just like your neighbor? You're not like your neighbor. Why is your life going to end up just like millions of people who are 30, 40, 50 years older than you? And all you had to do was say, all right, I got this pile of money. I busted my ass all week for it. Let's see, what can I do with it that's going to give me the most value? I can buy a bunch of crap that makes me keep working because I have good credit. Or I can take this money I have and I can invest it in things that give me access to things I want to do, to things I want to experience. Not rocket science. I'm sorry. I'm not. I mean, this isn't MC squared and algebra. This is simple thinking here. I'm laughing at you guys. I'm sorry. I got on a rant there, but I'm going to tell you what. Listen. Most people probably don't have what it takes right now. You're not quite ready to ask yourself that question. Why in the hell am I doing what I'm doing? I could be dead tomorrow. That's true. There are people in hospitals right now who don't know if today is their last breath. And what's stopping you? I mean, we see people running around taking on all this information and thinking they know what they know, and they're making choices that are going to impact their life. And can you imagine if you're the unlucky one? See, that's the thing that keeps shit going, keeps a lie going, is that you don't know. If you go look on the news or on the internet, any place, you're going to see that someone didn't make it. That's right. Some 39-year-old didn't make it because they got shot, they got ran over, they died of COVID, or something like that. Some person just like you didn't make it. Can you really dick around and wait to start having fun, to start taking the resources you have instead of spending it on bullshit? Use it to go after some shit before your life ends? I mean, come on! I don't know how else to say it. Maybe this is a little too harsh for you. Probably because most people don't have what it takes to hear this story. But the truth is, be accountable for yourself. The world don't give two shits about you. The world don't give the world is not going to change for you. COVID is not going to... You're like, oh, Mr. COVID-19, I've heard of you, but please, I'm not ready for this. Do you think COVID-19 gives two shits about whether you're ready or not? Sorry. Do you think your favorite superstar that's keeping you from putting a mask on your face, or you're that idea about this conspiracy that keeps you from protecting me, is going to matter when I get sick and you do too, because there's someone just like you who doesn't want to concern themselves with the truth or what could be the truth? Let's just pretend it's not the truth. You're taking a pretty big gamble if you're wrong, right? If you happen to be wrong about the idea of wearing a mask, you might be wrong. And if you're wrong, guess what? You're going to get me sick. And you know what's cool about that, though? Karma's a bitch. See, what's cool about that is your buddy you hang out with who believes the same things you do, he's probably going to get you sick. So there will all be you, your buddy, and me in a respirator sitting outside in some hallway or some tent because there aren't enough respirators and there isn't enough beds in the hospital for us. That's a bad one. Hey, listen, I'm going to end on that. I think that's a great way to end it. If you want to live your best life, what you have to do is you have to take a look at who you are first. And as long as you think you can't, you can't. But the minute you step into that new world, that idea of doing more, it's yours, baby. It's yours. So anyway, unscripted, just rolling hard on this. I'm going to make a difference in your life. You keep watching. Check it out. And remember, till next time, today's your day. Make it a good one.